All right, so what's storyline? Right? Storyline, basically, there is a theory about price action that says price travels from a certain key level to another key level. So you see price here, up, small reaction, up, small reaction, up, small reaction, up, small reaction, up, right? Price does not move in one direction only, and if it does, it must pull back, right? So all these movements come from what? They do come from key levels, SNR fresh key levels. When I say fresh key levels, they're not used more than 5 times because we're not using the H4, we're using the daily. So we're gonna use the levels that are used from 0 to 4 times. Okay. So you see all these bounces, they're not coming from nowhere. They're coming from a certain key level on a certain time frame. So for example, this buy right here, where did this buy come from? It came from this level right here. See this fresh V level right here? It came from that. That's where we got our buy. Now, where did this short bounce of 300 pips come from? It came from this left shoulder, this QM, right? Where did this buy start from again? It started from right here, right? Where did this short sell come from? It came from a certain setup on the H4, H1 right here, okay? Because if it's not on the daily, the time frame, you got to switch that because it certainly has to be on another one. So, well, some of you can ask me, where did this come from? It didn't come from a certain level here, but what if I say it actually did? Okay, now, students always ask me this question. There is price action in here, and they ask me, what if price takes the all-time high? Oh my God, I don't find any levels on the left. How am I gonna trade that? It doesn't fucking matter if there isn't any level on the left. You just gotta wait for levels to get created in here. So if you don't see a level on the left that you're expecting a sell from, you simply wait for a level to get created in here, right? So let's say, for example, price creates an A level. Boom, it creates an A level and then goes to it and then goes down, right? So that's what happened right here. So what did price do? It went up. It didn't find a level here. So what it did is that it created this A level, and that's where price went down from. And then from here, it went back up. From here, it went back down. From here, it went back up. And then we had another reaction from here, right? So went up, went down, and then where did this buy come from? Focus here. It came from this level that got used once, broken. This is the second time. Okay. Where did this sell come from? Oh, it didn't come from any level. What did we say when you don't find a level on a certain time frame? You go to another one. Right? You go to another one. So as you can see here, we have a weekly level that price reacted from. Okay. This sell came from this weekly level right here. And then when you go check the daily, look at this. See this bearish reaction? It didn't come from a daily level because there is no daily fresh. It came from a weekly level. So we have to basically focus and look at other time frames if the daily is not showing you anything. All right, guys? So yeah, so what I'm showing you here is the theory, okay? The theory of price, how it travels from level to level. Now, there are certain levels that break on the way and certain levels that react, and there are reasons why, okay? So for example, price went up from here, right? This QM right here went up, up, up. Why did this level break? Well, there is a certain reason for it, that it actually broke. Why did it react from a level above, right? So as you can see, recently, where did this reaction come from, right? Where did this reaction come from? It did not come from a level on the left because we took the all-time high, but what it did, look at this. It created an A level here and then pushed to it and then went down, okay? we sold off. Okay, there are reasons why this one broke, this one broke. I'm going to be explaining that. So first of all, you have to MTF your daily key level. So if your daily key level is MTF, basically multi-time framed with weekly and monthly, and you find the same key level in there, that has a higher chance of it starting a storyline. It doesn't mean it's going to start a storyline, but it has a higher chance. Now, this is a daily V level. If you go to the weekly, what do you find? You find that it's MTF'd with a weekly gap. Now, that weekly gap, if you go to the monthly, you will not find anything. So how many confluences do you have about this level? 2, daily, weekly, all right? So if you have 2 confluences, that's already stronger than just 1, okay? It's stronger than finding a daily, and you're not gonna find anything on the weekly, okay? So I'm just trying to explain to you here, the more levels, basically the more time frames has or contain the same key level, the stronger it gets, okay? So what are the signs or the major signs for a certain storyline to start? The level needs to be fresh. The level needs to be fresh on the daily. And since price travels from a fresh level, it needs to go to the same time frame fresh level. So if it goes from a daily, it must end in a daily, right? Okay. Also, you can have a storyline within storyline. So if the weekly is bearish, you can have pullbacks, right? What are these pullbacks? These pullbacks are reactions off of smaller time frames like daily and then going to daily. So you can have a bullish daily storyline inside the weekly big bearish storyline, okay? This is not confusing, it's very simple, okay? Just daily bullish storyline into daily bearish storyline into daily bullish storyline. All of this is happening in one big weekly bearish storyline. How do you identify your storyline if it's bullish or bearish? Okay, the first sign, which is a rejection, simple daily candle that rejects. Okay, daily fresh level, you need a daily rejection. So this rejection, it doesn't matter if it is too long, too small, it barely touched, bullish, bearish candle, it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, and then you're gonna go to the H4 for your second sign to separate price action from this certain point. Now you have this certain point right here where price touched. You're gonna find that certain point on the H4. Boom, right here. Now separate price at that certain point, right? You're gonna separate price at that certain point to do what? If you are on a certain support, if you're on a support, you can look for the last resistance that got created of a form as an A level, right? You're not gonna look for a gap. No gaps. I don't use gaps for straight lines. Some people do, but it's not stronger because they use it for scalping. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later as well. So here you have the last A level that got created before the touch. Now the touch, it can be a wick, it can be a body. Now the first touch is right here, and the last A level is right here, right? So this is the level that should be broken alongside with the rejection in order for you to say that we are on a bullish daily storyline to go to the next daily fresh level. So from daily to daily. Understood? But let's say there is a wick right here. Is this a valid breakout? No, this is not a valid breakout. It is an internal breakout because this A level got created after the wick. So you would want to mark this one, right? And when this one breaks, then you would want to say, oh, we are in a bullish daily storyline. Okay, let's take a look at some examples in the chart. So here, price was bearish. How do you identify if it went bullish again? So let's see exactly where price actually reacted from. So how do you do that? Is you mark a box, right? You draw a box and you drag it all the way to the left. And whatever levels this box contains, the last one is the level that this one actually reacted from. I simply drew this one because that was the most obvious one, but the actual level that this week reacted from is right here. See this gap? Boom. Now let's see if it is a valid level. It touched it. So it got used once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. And this is the last time, okay? The last time is actually always sharp, by the way. So if you have a level that is used 4 times, expect the 5th time to be very, very sharp, even though right here, you can't really expect when is it going to be, because this could be basically a body closure, it could be anything, right? But here you have a daily rejection. You would want to go to the H4 to separate price action. So here, this is where it actually touched. You separate it, okay? You separate it on the H4 and you look at the last resistance / A level that got created before the touch. Simply go to the line chart and that is your last A level that got created, right? Boom. So you wait for that one to get broken on the same day of the rejection or the next day. The breakout is only valid for 2 days. Now here you actually have it. You have the breakout. And that's why price flew all the way up, right? That's why price flew all the way up to where? The next daily level. Where is the next daily level? Where should be your target? From daily to the next fresh daily right here, right? How do you know if price is gonna flip or actually keep going higher to the next fresh level maybe, and then to the next fresh level maybe? How do you know that? You simply wait for your 2 signs to align, so the rejection and the H4 breakout. If you have the rejection, it means you should monitor the H4. If you don't have the rejection and it simply breaks, just monitor the next fresh daily. If you have both, then start selling and close your buys. Now, as you can see, our first target actually had a rejection. So when you go to the H4, right here, as you can see, price did not give us a bearish breakout. The bearish breakout right here, it actually nearly rejected it. So that means that price actually wants to keep going higher. Okay, so by that, price did not give us a breakout in the first day of the rejection and the second day, and price just kept going higher. So yeah, also there is this one thing about storyline. You need 2 brokers. One is to confirm with. So the storyline that you would want to monitor on your trading view is going to be on Owanda, okay? The second one is going to be Pepperstone. If Owanda is bullish, Pepperstone is still not bullish yet, you need to wait for them to align, okay? Let me give you an example right here. I think the example that gave me a loss, I still remember it till this day. Let me just try to find the example. Yeah, it was right here, okay? Let me just mark this. So when you go to the daily, you can see that we had what? Okay, is it this level? Let me see. No, not that one. It's the one below. So as you can see here, we have a daily gap that has a rejection, the first sign. When you go to the H4, you have the last A level that got created before the touch, right here, and it got broken. And then price, boom, it failed. It went down to hell, and it failed me. Why is that? Now, in this example, us, basically Malaysian MSNR traders and mentors, some of us took a loss. Some of us actually were selling. I was the one that actually took a loss right here. Some of us actually took a loss right here, simply because we were using different brokers. The ones that actually were selling, they were on Owanda, a broker that is similar to Owanda, I mean. So let me show you the example on Owanda right here, and you will see the difference yourself. So here is a gap, and here is a daily rejection. And then when you go to the H4, you can see that price actually did not give us a breakout right here. Boom, price touched the last A level. It did not break it. It actually rejected it many times and then went down. So that's why people were selling right here while we were trying to buy, and we actually were losing our buys. So whenever you find a daily reject daily and an H4 breakout, confirm on both brokers. If both brokers are opposite, just follow the previous storyline. So if the previous storyline is bearish, right? And then you have a bullish shift on Owanda or Pepperstone, and the other one does not. So just keep selling, right? Keep selling using your entries for sell. Okay, guys? Yeah, that's basically it. The same thing goes for the weekly. So if you want to check your weekly storyline, you would want to look at the weekly rejection and the daily breakout. So for example, here you have a weekly reject weekly gap, weekly rejection. You go to the daily, you look at the last daily A level that got created before the touch, which is right here. That is it. And you have a daily breakout. Weekly reject weekly, daily breakout, pullback, boom. Right. So yeah. What I'm thinking about, guys, is separating the rest of the knowledge, and we actually do a session tomorrow. What do you guys think about that? Do we do a session tomorrow and we talk about entries and Euro USD, or we just finish the rest today? So it depends on your votes. So I'd rather finish the rest tomorrow because I gave you a lot of information today. There are some new students here. There are some of you that are quite confused with it, that they need time to rewatch the videos. So yeah, it's all on you guys. So tomorrow, okay. I need more votes. I need more votes in order for me to make a decision. So okay, 3 votes for tomorrow, 2 for today, 4, 5, 6 tomorrow. Okay, most of you are saying tomorrow. Okay. We're gonna talk about the time of trading, or the specific time that you should be trading on the entries part, which is going to be tomorrow, because most of you voted for tomorrow. I'm sorry for the 3 guys that voted for today, but I think it's best for everyone. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one thing before I leave. I'm gonna show you how to detect. So tomorrow I'm gonna send the poll in the morning UK time. I'm gonna send it around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So the session is always going to be in the evenings. So for tomorrow, I'm gonna try to do it earlier. I'm not gonna try to do it at 10 p.m. UK time. So I'm either gonna do it at 3 p.m. UK time or 7 p.m. UK time as usual. Okay, so you guys get to vote tomorrow morning. I'm gonna send. Actually, I'm gonna send the vote after the session. So just before I leave, I'm gonna show you how to determine if price is bullish or bearish on any freaking market. So you just go here randomly, boom, Euro NZD, right? Boom. And what you would want to do is simply, first things first, you go to the daily. You look at the last price on the daily, and if it rejected anything. So this candlestick has just opened, so you don't want to look at that. I want to look at a candlestick that actually finished forming. So it is this one. What did this candle do? It rejected this gap right here. You have to understand my thought process, okay? I'm just gonna do what I usually do. I have a daily candle that rejected this, and it is in the recent price action. So separate that. So you go to the H4, you find where the H4 touched. It touched right here, right here. This is the touch, guys. Focus with me. Am I bearish? Am I bearish? Where is the last V level that got created before the touch? It's right here. We didn't break this shit yet. We're not bearish yet. And by this, it doesn't mean we're bullish. We just have to check in the previous price action. So we go to the daily, right here. What do we have? We don't have any rejections here. So let's confirm that by doing our method of the box. Boom. We have a gap. Look at that, guys. That's precision. That's freaking precision. How many times did this gap got used? Once, twice. This is the 3rd time. Right? This is the 3rd time where this key level got used. You see, it's never random. It's always from a certain key level. No daily reject daily. Once you go to the H4, you look where it touched. It touched right here. The last V level is right here, and that got broken. So the storyline on Euro NZD is bearish. Where is my target? My target is the next fresh level. Where is the next fresh level? So you'd want to go here, right? Boom. That is my next fresh level. It got used once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So it is still valid for the 5th time. That is my target. Now, this is how you analyze storyline. I'm bearish for now, so I want to be focusing on sells more than buys. That's why you see, boom, sells holding. They never come back to break even, whilst the buys are actually failing. As you can see here, if you take a buy, it's a short-term buy. Okay. Well, the Owanda and Pepperstone, they don't align with each other, not really a lot. So it's really rare when they don't align with each other. So yeah. So tomorrow's session is going to be either at 3 p.m. UK time or 7 p.m. UK time. I'm going to send the votes later, and I'm not really sure about 3 p.m. Because I don't know if I'm going to be available yet. I have to confirm with you guys in the morning. So that's why I told you to that I'm going to send the poll in the morning. If your daily level fails, do we look for another daily level below? Exactly. So if this daily level fails, simply fails means break below. That the next target is right here. And then if this one breaks, the next target is right here. The next target is right here. Until I have my daily reject daily and H4 breakout. Boom. Okay. Yeah, that is it. So I hope you guys are satisfied with today's class. If you have any further questions, let me know in the group as usual. I'm going to be more active again with you guys, and I'll send you the recordings in a bit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Bye-bye.